Hello everybody, welcome to Market Basics. So in this video I just want to briefly talk about what the market is there for, various strategies for how to spend your single market action each turn to maximize your earning potential in the game. Sure, that sounds good and official. Basically, the market is designed to give players an opportunity to, basically use all the resources that they're collecting in the mine, right? So, in the basic game, for instance, you've got copper and iron and emeralds, but you've only got, weapon plans to make basic copper weapons. So at the beginning of the game, one of the main questions of the market is, okay, how can I turn the iron and the emeralds into things that I can use as well? The answer to the iron question is pretty simple. You've got lots of different weapon plans that use lots of iron. For instance, on a market action, you can go, to that space and claim one of the iron weapon plans down there, or even one of these special iron weapon plans, and so that's a good way to use your iron effectively. And then of course you've also got emeralds, which are worth more when you sell them to the merchant. So right off the bat you've got a good way to deal with those just in selling them for extra cash. But the market cards also allow you extra opportunities to maximize the potential of the emeralds as well, either through more unique weapon designs that require emeralds to use, or you can go buy a bonus card that gives you an extra coin whenever you sell an emerald, or you can get a market stall which allows you to exchange emeralds for extra copper, or even downgrade an emerald into an iron. Both of those are going to give you a pretty good deal on exchanging emeralds for more useful things. And that's really sort of where the strategy ends in the simple game. I mean, there's not too much to think about in terms of planning ahead over multiple rounds. There's only 7 rounds in the game. If you've got obviously a bunch of extra resources, not enough adventurers, another option for you in the market is to go, to the barracks and buy another adventurer. Or if you've got too many adventurers and you need more resources, a lot of the single-use cards allow you to do that, either like through overseer movements or resource surpluses that you buy these and they just give you resources. So that's generally what the market is. You're basically just looking at what you have and what you're going to need going into the next quest round, the next quest phase, or maybe 2 quest phases down the road, or 3 quest phases if you're really thinking ahead. And that's really where it stops in the basic game. However, in the epic game, the bonus cards become far more useful in the epic game, because they're going to give you a bonus that's going to sit in front of you for the rest of the game, right? So for instance, if you buy the Seller Savvy like on the first turn of the game, it's going to give you 1 extra coin every time you sell a resource to the merchant, which is something you can do every round, and that's going to cost you 5 coins in the epic game. But if you buy it on the first turn, you've got 18 rounds in which to use that, so that can generate huge amounts of money over the course of the game. In addition, you've also got market stalls, which are extremely useful when used in combination with each other over the course of the game. So for instance, if you got this market stall which exchanges an emerald for 2 copper, and let's say you also picked up the 2 other stage 1 basic market stalls, right, which allow you to turn copper into iron, then iron into emerald, then emerald into 2 copper. Essentially, if you cycle through this entire thing, you gain a copper for free. Right, so that's another great way to generate extra resources and get extra points through the game. You know, in the basic game, this takes too long to set up, and you're not going to be able to use it over the course of that many rounds, and so it's not really worth it. In the basic game, you might just want to collect like one of these to shore up, you know, some weakness you might have in the rest of your market build. But in this case, over the course of the entire game, this is going to be very useful, especially when you consider, you know, getting something like the Trader Savvy, which allows you to use one of your stalls one extra round. So let's say you had that, and then you also had, say, a market stall that allowed you to turn iron into mithril. Forgive me a second while I find that. There we go. So something like this. So now you've got all four of these market cards, like so, and you've got a Trader Savvy. So what you can do is you can cycle through these once to collect an extra copper. Then you can turn that copper into an iron using your Trader Savvy, because you can use this again, and then you can turn that iron into a mithril. Now you've got a free mithril every turn, which is great. That's going to net you a bunch of extra power every turn. And so that's the sort of thing you have to think about over the course of the Epic game, is how can I accumulate these bonus cards to best, you know, give me a leg up over everybody else in the game, you know, over the course of the many, many rounds in which I'll be playing, right? Because if you're generating an extra mithril every round and the person next to you isn't, then, you know, that gives you a huge advantage in the game. Alright, so I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you next time.